This is the first. This is the first recording on the second chapter regarding the Elliott Waves trading series, and one of the most common pattern in Elliott Waves theory is being called an impulse or an impulsive move. Now, an impulse is being formed out of 5 different waves. It is one of the most, like said earlier, is one of the most well-known, one of the most known notions in the market. Now, an impulse is being formed out of 5 waves: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is being called an impulsive move, in this case to the upside. And in an impulse, there are a couple of rules that needs to be respected. So when you're looking to interpret a certain move that looks like an impulsive move, then you should look for clues for that for clues and for the rules to be respected, so that move can actually be considered an impulse. Why? Because rules are rules and they should be treated with respect. Now, breaking of these rules, and that means that the move you're looking at is not an impulsive move. First of all, you should take into consideration that at least one wave in an impulsive move should be extended. Now, extension means higher than 161.8, our previous wave. So that should be your first rule. Then, now the first wave in an impulsive move, and this is to be considered the first wave. So the first wave in an impulsive move, the wave that starts from the bottom here and goes to the upside, must be an impulse or of a lower degree or a leading diagonal. Now, if this is an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say that it makes, I don't know, a wave of a different degree. So let's say a wave of a different degree, like this. So this wave of this degree should be equaled or should be formed out of 5 different waves of this degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out of these 5 different waves, 3 would be to the upside and 2 would be corrective, of course, to the downside. Now, the first wave must be an impulse of a lower degree or a leading diagonal. Now, an impulse of a lower degree normally should look like this. So, an impulsive move of a lower degree, expected for the first wave here. Or, so a small impulse of a different degree, and the different degree should be something like this. Okay, so 1, 2, and the third wave, and the fourth wave, and the fifth wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to the upside. Or it should be a leading diagonal. Now, a leading diagonal has the looking like a rising wedge in this case, or a wedge in general. So it may be something like this. And as you can see, in a leading diagonal, you have the overlapping. That means that the waves, the extreme values for the waves, they are overlapping with the previous one. So this would be formed out of 5 different waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that whenever you're looking for an impulsive move to the upside or to the downside, you cannot label the structure, the internal structure of the first wave with A, B, C or something like this. It should be formed out of 5 different waves, either an impulse of its own or a leading diagonal on its own. Now, time to move for the second wave of the entire impulsive move. So the first wave of this degree is impulsive. So the second wave here, so this is the second wave in an impulsive, and the second wave can be any corrective pattern except a triangle. So if you have a triangle, like a contracting triangle, okay, like this, and you label it at the end of it with being a second wave like this, then this is wrong. It is never, but never, a triangle can be a second wave. What it can be part of a second wave, and that is a totally different story. When you have a different a complex combination, for example, or a complex correction with a zigzag, an X wave, and then a triangle, that's a totally different story. But a triangle in itself, to come here for the second wave, that is forbidden. So this is the rule. Second wave can be any corrective pattern except a triangle. Let me delete this one because we are clear with this one. Now all the rules are being written on the document that go with this subchapter, with the impulse rules. So feel free to check them. Here I will try to explain the rationale and the thinking beyond those rules. Now the second wave cannot retrace more than the first wave. But if this is the first wave read to the upside, then it is impossible, it is forbidden for the second wave to come and retrace beyond the beginning point of the first wave. So if you count something like this, so 1, 2, that is forbidden. This is not true. You are looking for a sequence that starts from a 0 point, and this is a 0 point. It should end with a fifth wave to the upside for the end of the first wave. Now also the second wave must retrace the first wave by a minimum of 20%. So what you are looking for the second, if you are looking for a retracement that you consider that might be a second wave retracement, then look for that the second wave to retrace at least 20%. And how would you check this? Well, you should just take a Fibonacci retracement and measure the length of the first wave like this. You just take it from the low to the top, and you're looking for 20% area to be touched. Now if this second wave we imagine here would have been something like this, and you will label this 1 and 2 and moving to the upside, that wouldn't be correct, because the second wave would not be higher than 20% retracement of the first wave. So that would be wrong. Anyways, once again, let me delete the fifth. Once again, looking for the second wave to retrace first wave by a minimum of 20%. Now maximum time for the second wave is 9 times the time taken for the first wave to complete. So if you're looking in terms of Elliott waves for impulsive move and correcting moves, you better start taking into consideration the time element. If you're trading and if you're counting Elliott waves but you're not taking into consideration the time element, then it's like driving a car during night and having the lights turned off. I mean, you know where you're going, but you don't know the road that you are on. So try to look for the maximum time taken for the second wave. So you may just take a vertical line and point by the end of the first wave, and then point to the end of the second wave. Measure the time taken for the second wave, or measure the time taken by the first wave, and then multiply it 9 times on the right side here, and that should be your maximum time for the second wave to correct. If the correction keeps going, is taken more than 9 times to end, then there is not a second wave, and you're looking for a totally different structure. Now, moving forward, then we go to the third wave, and the third wave cannot be smaller than both the fifth and the first wave. What it means that it is forbidden for the third wave in an impulsive structure to be the smallest wave. So if you would have a structure like this, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that would be not considered an impulse because the third wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is the smallest between the first and the fifth and the 50th. So that is forbidden. The third wave should never be the shortest in an impulsive move. Then moving forward, and the third wave must be an impulse on its own of a lower degree. So not a leading diagonal, okay? Not anything else, but 5 waves to the upside. There should be an impulsive move of a lower degree, mandatory. So this should be something like this. The third wave. Let me arrange it a little bit. So it should be formed out of 5 smaller degree waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it should be an impulsive move on its own, okay? But just of a smaller degree. Then moving forward, the third wave must be longer than the first wave in distance by price. What it means, so it must be in an impulsive move. The third wave should be higher than the first wave. So you just take a look at the third wave, and then you compare with the first wave, and the third should be higher. Then the third wave and the first wave cannot have both of them fifth wave failures. Now, what is a fifth wave failure? This is going to be the purpose of the rest of the next recording, trying to look what a fifth wave failure looks. So stay tuned.